This changes everything for the Los Angeles Lakers, and we have multiple injury updates to go over surrounding both Austin Reeves and a very shocking one surrounding Maxi Kleber. We're going to break down exactly what those updates are, as well as a few other updates ahead of their next game. But before we get into it, folks, quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. If you're part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, it's the place to be for daily Lakers content. Your guys' support has been fantastic as we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. But Akeshi, obviously, in yesterday's game, we have a bunch of injuries. Obviously, Hachimura has been out. Austin Reeves went down with an injury, and we have the results from his MRI. But we also have an interesting update surrounding someone that we haven't spoken about since he was really acquired at the trade deadline, and that is Maxi Kleber. And we'll start with him before we get into the Austin Reeves one, but you're going to want to stay tuned for sure to the Austin Reeves update, as well as a couple other stats here as well. Let's start with this. So you can see this here, and this just dropped. Lakers rumors, there's some optimism about Maxi Kleber returning from injury before the playoffs. And it goes on to say that the Lakers believe there's a possibility that Maxi will make his team debut before the start of the playoffs. I've heard that there's some optimism that a return before the end of the regular season is possible, said Jovan Buha. And of course, Kleber, who came to the Lakers as a part of the Luka trade, had a right foot fracture. So, Keshi, this is an interesting one. Now, I mean, as his fit pertains to the Lakers, it's been interesting to discuss that as well, but it seems like there is a good chance that he returns before the playoffs. And a lot of fans out there thought that, of course, he wasn't going to play this season at all, but this is not only an interesting player who's having a really bad year, but he's played with Luka in the past.
Yeah, he's played with Luke in the past, and for albeit like intents and purposes, Maxi Kleber is a pretty solid guy when he's healthy and right. He's a guy that can knock down some three-point shots. He can guy who can defend a couple of different positions. Like he's not like a lockdown defender, but he can like do his job. He's like that type of defender out there. So that can be another interesting piece if he is comes back healthy for the Lakers, because like it kind of gives them like a pseudo small ball stretch
Yep.
five type of player, which the Lakers don't really have on the roster yet. Dorian Finney-Smith can hit shots, and yeah, Rui Hachimura can do some things like that. But Kleber's a little bit bigger than those two guys, and he's a guy that's been kind of used to playing the five position because he's been playing a lot of small ball five in Dallas. It can be interesting if we can get a couple of games with him, and hopefully JJ Redick will throw him out there if the Lakers can find a fit for him somewhere, because he can be an interesting add to the team for what's turning into a really nice defensive team right here.
Yeah, I actually like it a lot, and we'll dive into his stats a little bit. But he basically, to finish up the article here, goes on to say that on February 4th, of course, after his trade for the Lakers, it came out that his injury would be reevaluated in 8 weeks. A timeline puts Maxi Kleber on track for an update around March 31st, just under 2 weeks before the Lakers wrap up the season. So it seems like there's a chance that he could return by late March, which again, at this point, anyone else you can add, especially when it's a guy that you don't have to make room for, or, waive anything like that, is very interesting. Now, looking at his stats, he has in the past been a very useful player. And obviously this season he's having a rough year, specifically because his three-point shot has completely fallen off a cliff. He's shooting 26.5% from three this season in 34 games. You look at some of the other seasons, and you mentioned it, he's had some really good seasons along Luka. Think back to the 2021 season, he averaged 7 points a game, and he can be a stretch five, a stretch four, and the Lakers, like you mentioned, they don't have one. Dorian Finney-Smith can play that, though Maxi Kleber is more of a traditional big man, I would say, than Dorian Finney-Smith as it pertains to actually setting screens and things like that. And he's played alongside, like you mentioned, Luka before, so there is chemistry there. And we know if there's any player that can elevate a player's game in general, let alone someone he's played with for a while, it will be Luka Doncic. And he's had some good years, even as recent as last season. It was only 4 points a game, but he still can shoot the three ball. He can rebound a little bit, and he's not going to be a guy who's crashing the glass, playing fantastic defense in the paint, but he's a capable defender. And I think there definitely is a role for him, simply because not necessarily his skill is super high, but they don't have a player like him on the roster, aside from, I guess, Dorian Finney-Smith, though I think that comparison's a little bit different, as Dorian Finney-Smith isn't as traditional of a five. Not that Maxi Kleber is necessarily a traditional five, but they play in very different ways.
Yeah, they do. But I think Maxi Kleber, if he were to come back, he would have his job would be very easy, because you pointed out with Luka Doncic, the guy that he can set up with, Dorian Finney-Smith, the guy that he's played with
Yep.
before, because Dorian Finney-Smith was over then there. And then playing with LeBron James, that type of player can also give you so much easy looks. Maxi Kleber, the hard part for him will be getting back on the floor, getting into basketball shape, and really getting up to speed what the Lakers are doing. That's the hard part for him. But as far as like making the stuff look easy, that's gonna be Luka Doncic and LeBron James's job to really set that guy up offensively. And then defensively, we'll see if he's able to get his legs under him. He did have a foot fracture, so that's a little bit hard to really rest and recuperate, especially, or get into game shape, I should say, because you're not really on your foot that much because you're trying to stay off it before it heals. But if he's able to get to a point where the Lakers could probably throw him out there in certain matchups because I do think matchup dependent, he can be a very useful player. He's guarded a different types of guys throughout his career. Like I've seen him in his career guarding guys like Kawhi Leonard and also guarding even bigger dudes. So like say if you're in a series against the T-Wolves, like he knows what to do against like a guy like a Rudy Gobert. He's probably not as big or strong to really ward him off, but some of the things he can do on the offensive end can really counteract that what Rudy Gobert does defensively. So if there are some matchups the Lakers can have a Maxi Kleber that can be very beneficial to this squad. So we'll see what comes of it
Yeah,
in these last couple of weeks.
there's definitely available playing time for him if it comes to that. And I mean, their big man rotation is pretty interesting, I guess, right now. I mean, Trey Jemison has overtaken Alex Len. You have Jackson Hayes playing the starting five. So let us know down below what your thoughts are on that. I'm excited to see him if he comes back. And also, if not, still be potentially, hopefully he'll be able to make his return. But let's touch on Austin Reaves a little bit here because this just dropped from Shams a little bit ago. Austin Reaves will be day-to-day after an MRI on his right calf revealed no serious injury. His status is uncertain for Sunday, but great development overall. This is huge news because we were worried a little bit. There was some worry in general that he was going to miss a significant amount of time. I covered in the video earlier today who would have to step up, specifically Jordan Goodwin, after JJ Redick said that, of course, Goodwin's going to get in the lineup more. But Okeshi, he's good, and I don't think he's going to play tomorrow, but there is a chance he plays. Hopefully, I wouldn't mind giving him a rest day, just in general, whether or not the injury is bothering him a ton. But having Austin Reaves available as you continue to climb up the Western Conference with the Grizzlies losing tonight, you got to continue to, climb up, and having him available and healthy is only going to elevate this team further. And this is very, very good news because he's now day to day. And if things would have went the other way, he could have been week to week.
I mean, it's just tremendous news for the Lakers because he provides so much value to our offense. We were talking about this the other day of how when Austin Reaves steps off the floor, that Laker offense kind of falls out of the bottom because Luka Doncic hasn't found himself quite yet, and LeBron is carrying the load. But he needs a guy like Austin Reaves to really help out in that respect. And it is nice to see him not pick up a significant injury. And knowing Austin Reaves, this guy's a gamer. He's going to try to play on Sunday. I don't think he will. He was listed as doubtful on the injury report. Same with Jordan Goodwood as well. So the Lakers might be down a couple of guards. We might see some Bronny James minutes. But Austin Reaves, sure, if he's able to take a game here or there, maybe it's this game and probably the next game on Tuesday against the Pelicans, and if he's ready to go against the Knicks on Thursday, I think we'll be all good in Lakerland because he is extremely important to that three-headed monster of shot creation the Lakers have with Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and then Austin Reaves because of what he can do on the ball and then also off the ball as well because he's not a guy that you can really leave out the three-point line and leave out there because he can knock down a lot of shots out there.
Yeah, you got that Austin Reaves shirt of yours you got on. Provided some luck today for the man himself. But let us know down below. Hopefully the Lakers can continue rolling. Again, the big scenario tonight was the Rockets losing, the Grizzlies losing, the Warriors losing, and the Mavs losing. We got the Grizzlies losing for sure, and hopefully the rest will follow suit. And again, the Lakers have faced 8 teams so far, and they faced 8 teams. February is over, and they went 8-0. So hopefully they can get March on and off to a very, very, similar start. If they can go 8-0 again in March, we'll be in very good shape.
We're talking contenders right there if we are.
Yep. And maybe, I don't think they're going to be able to catch the Oklahoma City Thunder, but let's at least catch the Grizzlies and continue to ride up the standings. But let us know down below what your thoughts are. Some great news today, both on the Austin Reaves front, most importantly, but also Maxi Kleber could make an interesting impact. Let us know down below what your thoughts are. See you guys later.